Okay, everybody, welcome to episode 2, you might say. So last time we did the introduction to the book, and if you are looking for AI education, AI literacy, this piece of text has been created by me for you so that you can follow on with us, and hopefully, you'll learn a few new things along the way and really understand what is going on in this massive technological shift right now that we're seeing in society. So last time we looked at the vision and the bold vision of the book. Now we're going to take a quick glance at the introduction, and then we're going to start moving through these fast chapters. So here we are. Here's the introduction to Generation of the Algorithm. You were born into a system that you didn't choose to be a part of the experiment. None of us did. But here we are, living inside one of the most powerful technological shifts in human history. A global rollout of intelligent systems that never sleep, never forget, and never stop learning from you or us. Artificial intelligence isn't something that is coming. It's already here. And it's already making decisions about our health, our job applications, our credit scores, schoolwork, and our attention span, which is probably one of the most worrying in my opinion. Your voice, your face, and your freedom of movement, and your guilt and innocence, and even our future. Most people don't know this, and most don't want to know. They think AI is just a Siri or a chat GPT or some robot in a factory, but the story is far more real than this, and it's far bigger, and it's much more urgent. We're talking about systems that now operate faster than any legal process or more silently than any surveillance system, with more influence by more human leaders. The systems aren't really voted into power. They aren't designed to understand ethics, and most of the time they don't even know what we are. But that's why this book exists, and the channel. It's here because we're at the edge of something that is pretty much irreversible. A shift where humans are no longer the only intelligent species steering the future. If you're reading this, you're a part of the generation of the algorithm. If you're here right now with me following, you are a part of this movement. And we're going to feel the full weight of it throughout this book that I've done. We didn't cause it, but we could be held responsible for what happens next. Now, the good news is you don't need to be a programmer to understand what's going on here. My job is to take this systems of AI, you could almost argue, and put them into a real simple format, a real simple to understand way for the general public. You don't need a PhD to ask the right questions either. You just need to start paying attention. Start paying attention now and what's inside. And this is pretty much how the book is now going to be rolled out. So we have got what we call fast chapters, which are designed to be sort of a faster written chapter. So it's much easier for us to go through together. The book really, as I said, is broken down into those and into major of what we say is 4 parts. So as we see, part 1 is around like understanding AI. So how do we, what is artificial intelligence? What do we mean by the black box problem? How do we understand things like overfitting and generalization? Then we've got the dangers of AI. So these are systems that I've been working with for a long time now, but I also am an occupational health and safety expert as well. So I've spent the last 2 decades in industry managing health and safety for huge high-risk industries and high-risk sectors. But we're going to look at how the integration of these dangers of AI can go into those systems and into those, you could argue, like nuclear power or MOD or, even from automotive, manufacturing, compliance. So, but we're looking at things like deep fakes, AI in surveillance, autonomous weapons. That's in part 2, really the dangers. But there are many other real world case studies that are involved in this as well. So I'm a strong believer in using facts and evidence in supporting anything that I say. So equally, by bringing in real world studies, this is going to help understand better. And then part 3 is about that real world application. So like, how do we apply these systems in our day-to-day society? So we've got healthcare, predictive policing, the justice system, financial systems and automation, an autonomy of everything that we're seeing in industry. Right now, we've got digital autonomy through, you could argue, our data sets and how we manage data. AI in hiring, AI in education, and finally a bit on autonomous vehicles. And then we're looking at what we mean by the social media algorithm and influence, which is huge in a part of our society. It's sort of what we feel, hear and think is maybe what we see, but not always the same of what we're being fed. And then part 4 is really the biggest part, which is around the building of a safer future. So how are we going to intend to do that? What are our intentions of global governance and ethics of AI? How do we understand what is needed to be done now and what we need to start doing in the future? And for that, yeah, this is sort of the 4 major parts to the book, alongside, as I say, the introduction. The next episode or the next video that I'm going to do is going to be the actual starting, the chapters themselves. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I've changed it slightly as well, so I'm not using a mic now. So I'm trying to get the best videos, as I'm not a YouTuber, just to sort of vlogging this book with you on this journey. So please, don't be afraid to follow on. With the book itself, Generation the Algorithm, and it's a cultural text for a world written in code. And the actual part of this that I thought would be most interesting, which is the slogan, this generation won't just use AI, they will live under it. And I think I'll end on that for now. But yeah, so that was another episode, or say part 2, introduction to the book itself, Generation the Algorithm. Give us a quick follow. I will be bringing more daily content to the channel as well. And if you have any questions or anything, don't be afraid just to drop those in and I'll do those. Go and have a look at my LinkedIn as well. So it's Peter Collins on LinkedIn. I did risk assess AI as a species. So the movement of our species into the next 5 years and 10 years from now, how we will see that movement, and some of the top 20 threats. But it was actually used with GPT as GPT, and I included all my prompts on that, and you can download that straight from Dropbox, and you can get hold of that risk assessment as well if you are interested in a little bit more. Failing that, go and have a look at other things what I've done. I've got a YouTube channel as well, and this is going onto the TikTok, but go and follow suit with anything else, and don't be afraid to ask questions, but more importantly, follow on for the journey, because this is going to change everything of who we are, what we do, how we live in society, and I want you guys to be a part of that journey. So thanks for your time. Pete Collins, Generation the Algorithm.